Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode here on the Hermitcraft Mesified server. And I know what you want to know, because we left last episode with a little bit of a cliffhanger. You can see a chap hanging out in a boat behind me, and that is the same villager that killed us. It killed us. You know what? I am not prepared for this at all. There is more that I could do to show you how this works right now, and in order to do that I'm going to grab these two items, and let's take my helmet. Why not my helmet? There we go. So, this chappie here killed me last episode, and I got many of you to guess. Now, 95% of you said that it was a villager with Fawn's armor on. You are correct. About 5... Yeah, he's nodding. See? He knows what's up. Yep. I'm wearing that Fawn's armor. See? Oh, I love that they nod. All mobs do that, by the way. They sort of nod when they're in here, which is cool. And yeah, so the other 5% of people, though, thought it was command blocks. I found it really interesting to read through the comments and just see over and over again that we had, the fawns, and then anything that wasn't fawns was basically, did you do it with command blocks? Which I wouldn't do here on the Hermitcraft server. It is vanilla. I don't use command blocks to play. We have some command block enabled features, like the scores that you see there for flying, which are apparently incorrect. Apparently I got the numbers slightly wrong. We could actually see that together right now if we go into statistics. All the way down to flown by Elytra. Look at that. You see, I've got it off by one number, so I need to go and repair the command blocks and do something there to make it correct. And anyway, what we're going to do is put the hat into this dispenser, then we're going to activate it, and did you see that? It didn't even get, shot out, because it actually got equipped on this guy over here. So when we punch him, bam, there you go. And you heard the sound as well, so that's how we did it. Unfortunately, what we also have to do is, get rid of this guy now, because I want my things back. And this is another experiment that I wanted to do. So, when a villager is in the boat by itself, it's not inside the block. It actually shifts its position. It's not like a visual thing. Now he's inside of the block. I'm so sorry, buddy. It had to be done for science. For science, people. He's nodding. Look, he's saying yes, for science. I understand. You want to see... It's taken a long time, isn't it? Maybe we should actually... Oh, there you go. Right, there we go. Okay, so now I've got my armor back, right? And that one has fawns, and that is, how that trick was done. So this area has been tidied up, and I can't remember if it was the end of the last episode or after, but I managed to break the door over here. That's right, I stopped it from working. It was a little bit silly. It's been fixed now, and I don't think I need to go into too much detail, but I do want to explain what the problem was, and it will only take us a second to do that. Basically, this thing right here is our pulse extender. We're going to see this redstone signal decay, which will then mean our door will shut. There it goes. And there was one way that this could break, and that was that the signal came in right here, and it went through the comparators and came back this way, and then this was unpowered, which would require you to go over the tripwire very, very quickly, and then this thing would act like a clock. The signal would be cycling around, and that caused the door to activate over and over again, which caused all sorts of problems. In order to fix that, we have now routed the input in twice, once with a 2-tick delay and a 4-tick delay, and that stops it from doing just that. So that's just a little thing that's been corrected that you don't need to worry your head about. So let's go and plop these back in here. The door will now open as I cross the tripwire, so that's been fixed, taken care of, and like all of this has been tidied up. There's acacia wood all the way there as well. And one of the other things that I wanted to sort of tidy up and just check was this over here. And I did a live stream, and I would recommend watching this live stream actually if you would want to watch some more Hermitcraft. It's like a precursor to everything you're going to see in today's episode. And one of those things I wanted to do was check that this thing worked. So we put in some sand, we put in some coal, and we found out that unfortunately some 1.9 changes meant that this didn't work. Now, I designed this whole thing on my plot world, which is 1.8, and I didn't actually test it in the episode that we built this, and you can see it's now going back and forwards, distributing all of the sand. There's coal in the furnaces as well being distributed, and you can also see from the items in this chest that they're actually getting distributed pretty evenly by the looks of it, which is nice to see. So if we walk around the back, I'm going to show you how the redstone has changed. And basically the problem is, in 1.9, if you have a block above a, let's say, track, a cart, a minecart track that is going, a rail, that's the correct word, that is going up like this, it'll actually block the minecart, which is sort of what we did with the pistons that push down. And, hey, you're coming back? No, I wanted to show the peeps. Oh, well, we'll wait here for it to come back again. Anyway, in 1.9 it doesn't quite work, so we had to redo the redstone, and because it's so cramped in here, it took us forever to figure this one out. But you see that trapdoor right there? That is the trick, and it is a very clever trick. Now, I don't have more coal to put in here, but basically what we do is we put the coal in here, we activate the redstone signal goes up and above and around, and it powers this trapdoor, and bam! Down goes the minecart, and then it will close a moment later. Now when the minecart comes back up, it can go through this hitbox, but then it'll get caught on it when it's sitting in this position. So yeah, we're now using trapdoors to do that, and it works in 1.9, which is fantastic. So the smelter we built in the previous episode, or the one before the last, is now actually working, and we're making a great use of that, which is really cool. Now I've also been into the shopping district and brought myself 3 of these dragon heads. They cost... It is hilarious how big it is compared to the player model. That is just ridiculous. I want to, when other people are like on here playing, I think I'm just going to like run around near them wearing this to show you how ridiculous it is. And I love that the mouth moves up and down. So derpy, I decided to buy myself 3 of these. They cost 20 diamonds each. And now that I brought them, I'm like, what am I actually going to do with these? I don't know. But I'll tell you what, I want a dragon's head. Can we put one there? Will it look ridiculous? It doesn't really sort of say much there. There'll be a place somewhere in the base where we know that we're going to put it at some point. So let's take that back for now. Let's put it in the valuables chest. Cost me 60 diamonds for all of those, so we're down to 3 stacks over here. And another thing that we worked on as well, again, we worked on a lot of things in this live stream, is our little secret entrance over to the side here. So we have been tidying this up area. Wow, that was a bad sentence. Tidying this area up. And it now leads down into the area with the Elytra launcher down below. And this is our plan for the episode. What we're going to be doing is working on this room right here. So where you saw it last time, it was down sort of in this area. The brown clay will probably look a little bit more familiar. And what we want to do is build a platform at this height. And as you can see, I've been sort of placing blocks all over the place here. Anyway, this is our elevator to get all the way back up. And a lot of people after I built this said, why do you need that? Because... you know, you're coming down to the Elytra launcher to leave this place, right? And a very valid question, but I had plans. I had plans for the future, and that were to create these water curtains like this, because you can actually fly into these and just immediately stop, basically, and safely stop. If you haven't flown an Elytra before, you can crash into a wall and you can lose all of your items, which is really unfortunate. But with the water, you fly into that and you're absolutely fine. So the idea is, not only is this a launching place, it's a landing place as well. So we've got the water curtain on that side. We're going to have another one over here as well. There is another natural cave just back here where we'll build a second water curtain. And that will allow us to have like little entrances into this place, which I think is really cool. So I have sort of positioned the pathway here. Like parallel to that one, so that we can have a very neat and nice space. So this is central. You can then go to either side at equal distance. There are the entrances, and then they both go off to the water platforms as well. Anyway, what we've got to do right now is fly one of these. And in this live stream, again, we did so many things. We also played around with using this thing differently without using the slime block launcher. And the way to do it, if I can remember, let's check we've got our Elytra on. We're going to walk forward, we're going to tap spacebar, and then we're going to look upwards, okay? So walk forward, tap spacebar, look upwards, and there we go. We are flying. Absolutely amazing. Now, I think I spent a lot of the force it gives us going straight forward there rather than upwards and high. So we're not going to come down into our water curtain with the most speed, but we have, tested this fairly extensively. By that I mean about 3 or 4 attempts, and... I seem to hit some sort of invisible block there, but I didn't take any damage, right? Let's do that once more, and let's do it a lot faster, because this is going to be the way we get back to our base. So I don't want this to be the only Elytra launcher on the server. If there's one in another place that I just went and visited, and I want to come back to my base, do I want to go through another portal? Not really. I would rather fly through the sky, right? So I'm tapping spacebar, looking forward, looking up, and now we're going to go way too high in the sky for my own comfort. We're going to be hardly able to see anything. Let's try this in... Oh, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons now. Let's try this in F5 mode. Let's also try and reload the chunks, although we don't actually need to do that. There we go. And, I'm not on a good course here at all, am I? Let's spin around. Try not to lose too much momentum. Try and keep our height and then go in a lot faster. Okay, here we go. This looks good. This looks like we're set up for the real deal. Except I hit the wall in front of it. Wow. That was not terribly great. Not terribly great, I'll admit that. Let's try it one more time. Okay, we need to drop drastically, and this feels very good. Oh, I hit the top, but I didn't take any damage. I didn't take any damage. Do you know what? This thing probably needs to be a little bit bigger. I'm glad we've done a couple of tests here. What I think I'll do is remove some blocks at the bottom here, just so it goes a little bit lower. This thing is 3 high. It could really do with being about 5, right? But either way, we haven't died yet, so it's a sign that it works. We tested it loads in the live stream, don't you worry. So, the plan for today's episode is to work on this area down here. I want to make this into a fancy room for the Elytra launcher, and one of the first things we might do, I'm going to think about this a bit, is we might actually move this thing, because now that we've discovered how it works with the ladders, it would make much more sense to walk out at this height and just drop down into a gap, fall into the Elytra launcher, and off you go. But that means that I'm going to mess around with this cave and stuff as well. So I haven't made up my mind on how I'm going to do that. I'll just play around with it for a bit properly and see if I can make it work at this height. But if not, we might have to move it. So I've dug out a fair bit of space here, just getting an idea for how much room we have. We can't really make a big ceiling in this room because we have some redstone in the way, and we've also got the ceiling up there as well, so maybe having a big open room here isn't the way to go. Now I think there's going to be some sort of water feature just over here because I keep getting drawn to that space, and I reckon maybe like a little quartz water fountain and something else in there might just work really well. And as for the rest of the room, not too many ideas yet, but I do think quartz is going to be quite prominent, so we will continue sort of expanding that around the room. And then this is most likely going to be the shape. We've got a little bit of redstone in the way we might need to move. And then I reckon the ceiling is going to like come over at this height like that, going all the way across. And we'll probably do this diagonal thing, sort of pointing you in directly to this thing over here, which I'm not going to move down because I've tested it and you can do it from this height right here, which to me makes a lot of sense. And you know what I also need? I reckon we should have some stairs leading up to this thing, and we should think about how it looks from this side as well, because you might just happen to fly in to this space instead of the water ones on the side, so you want to way back up. So for now, walking up like that would be fine. But yes, you can use the platform like this, so I don't think it's really worth moving it. I'm probably just going to have a couple of stairs leading up to it. All you got to do is walk forward, tap spacebar, look upwards, and every single time that works. And I have fixed the tab screen as well. I have actually flown 190 kilometers, not 1,900, so that little thing has been fixed as well. So we're going to build a little oasis in here, and it's going to be a strange one because it's going to include some slime blocks, and as you can see, green is the colour that we're going for in here. So we're going to use quartz as well, and I find actually quartz can be a little bit difficult to build with sometime, but eventually I found my way to a very interesting build style which is going to make use of 3 different colours. One of those colours is going to be green, the other one is going to be blue, which we're going to put in the walls on the outside area, so all of this leading around to the centre over there is going to be blue, and then we're going to have grey in the ground, and we're going to use a lot of quartz as well. So 3 different colours of clay and quartz I actually think is going to go together pretty well, but the end product I reckon is going to be pretty bipolarizing as well. A lot of people have different opinions on this build, which is fine by me. And then for the ceiling, we're going to go all out crazy and put slime blocks up here, and I actually brought some with me. So what I'm thinking of doing is actually creating a little bit of a shape and then filling the entire thing packed up like this full of slime blocks, and then punching some away at random, so we have like a slime block ceiling where there's just slime blocks sort of going all over the place, up, down, left, right and centre. Maybe the occasional one dips into the room a little bit, and it will just be something I feel like I've never really seen before in a build, and it could potentially be pretty crazy. But the main thing that of course ties it together are the colours. We've got the purple, the green and the grey, of course, with the quartz. Okay, that's a little bit better, right? Maybe? Maybe not. You're going to see a lot of green just above this quartz, and this needs to go right here as well. I think it's looking good. I like the direction it's going in. This, by the way, is going to be complemented by these furnaces going around the outside, so there's going to be a border, and I think some of them will be made out of pistons so we can put light underneath, have the same texture and have the light come through. But here is our little strange slime block oasis, and oh, I just remembered, do you know what this build needs? It probably needs the occasional end rod in here. That's something that I want to build with. That will go very nice with the quartz, but this thing is welded up And yeah, there's slime blocks in here. At the moment though, I need to go to a taiga biome so I can get myself a fern and just grow it into a double tool one on that corner, and then I think that'll be like the final detail for this little bit. But we got to go there first, and the nearest one is up near Force's area. There's a big swamp behind there, and the taiga biome is to the left of that. Check it out, my dude is hanging out upside down, spreading his wings all over the place. That is so bizarre. But I must get back to staring at the coordinate screen because, oh, we're actually travelling somewhere just by using coordinates. We're going to -1 660 and 250, and we're sort of quite near there. And this is crazy because I've flown all the way over here, sort of blind, and now we should start to see a taiga biome. Has CubFan actually built his farm in the middle of the taiga? I don't think it is. It's over here by 100 blocks, and I'm off by 500. I was doing so good. I started recording, and then I just lost my concentration. So we have to head. Wow, that was a poor landing. We have to head like I think it's this direction by another 400 blocks. So I'm going to be here a while, aren't I? And I brought some ender pearls. Thank goodness. Let's chuck one over there. So right now my inventory is packed full of valuable items. The reason? Because I died. I was down here in this cave and I got creeped and had to fly all the way back over here. CubFan was kind enough to lend me an Elytra to get here. And you may be wondering, why was I caving? Well, I headed out here without any iron, and I thought, you know what, not going to worry about that, because actually we can come down here into a cave, grab some coal, grab some iron and cobblestone, make ourselves a furnace, but oh no, and look at that, more iron. I had to get creepers, and then I managed to get back over here and get my items with no problems at all. Anyway, the taiga biome is just above us. I'm going to make us some shears. I actually brought some with me. There you go. Going to make us a few more, and we're going to collect some ferns, which might be a little bit tricky now because my inventory is full of items that I don't actually technically need. At least some of them, but some of them I definitely need to hold on to, right?
FT, FT, we got a cup. FT, cup. FT, we got a cup.
Hello everyone, welcome back.
FT, we got a cup. FT, cup. FT.
Oh my days, cup. FT, cup. FT, we got a cup. FT, cup. FT, cup. FT, cup. FT, we got a cup. FT, cup. FT, all my days. Cup. FT, cup. FT, we got a cup. FT, cup. FT, cup. FT, cup. FT, cup. FT, cup. FT, all my days. So we get home in the end. I've got more ferns than I'll probably ever use, and for right now we only need one of these and a little bit of bone meal as well. I also need to repair this elytra, and if I remember correctly, the way to do that is with leather. Let's double check. Yep, there we go, and then I'm going to return that to the shop in a moment. But before we do that, I also just want to show you this little chest over here, which is from CubFan himself. And this is a return for, I think, some of the name tags that he borrowed from us. So now he's given me almost 2 stacks of name tags back. We get a book as well. Oh yeah, I guess we could read this. And 2 skulls, look at that. They're going to come in amazing for making some banners. However, I want to wear one of these on my head. If you didn't know, if you haven't seen my facts video, what was it, 25 things you might not know about Minecraft 1.9, something like that. I can't remember the name of my own video. When you're wearing one of these, you can get twice as close to creepers. The regular range is 16 blocks where they will notice you, and if you're wearing one of these, you can go up to 8 blocks closer to them. But I'm not going to tempt fate. I'm not going to run around the Hermitcraft server trying to get close to creepers, but that's a cool little thing that you can use it for. So anyway, what does Cub here say? Asuma, thanks for your support in the form of name tags from the Charge Creeper farm. I've collected 114 name tags to repay you, and also am providing you with a creeper head and skeleton skull. Thank you for your generous support, and be sure to visit Cub's Craniums now in the shopping district. Hey, we were there earlier. We brought 3 of the dragon heads. So now we've got like... yeah, we've almost got all of them. We've got a wither skull somewhere. We just need a zombie head as well, and then we'll have a complete collection. And the walkway down here has been tidied up, as you can see. And yeah, this has all been tidied up too. Just the floor to do next. So you're going to go there. You're going to be a large fern. There'll be a piece of grass there. And now all we got to do is the roof. And we just got to like punch out little bits of it like this, right? And that is looking pretty cool so far. This is the easiest way to build. Fill it all in, punch it all out. Okay, so around the edges they're going to stay like that. I think the occasional 1, 2, and maybe 3 should pop down. Maybe 1 in the middle there as well. That's probably enough. And then just punch away a little bit higher up here in the middle where there's actually more room. Wow, they are really annoying. More room to do so. And look at that. It's looking pretty cool and organic. Just a few spots here and there where it could probably do 1 or 2 more punches. And that is looking amazing. So this area is looking pretty cool. You can see for lighting that I've chucked in some end rods at the top, and I was going to put in some pistons down the bottom here. Tried that, and I felt like it made the floor too light. So this is what we got, and it is a little bit plain. Not sure what to do with it. And also I've tidied up these areas back here. I didn't really feel like doing anything too fancy other than just making a nice and neat pathway. So we've got a sort of similar thing over on this side. And that means that this area down here is kind of finished. We don't need to worry about it now. And now that I've learned how to use this, walk forward, drop down, tap spacebar, hold forward and look up. And it works every single time, which is fantastic. And the amount of momentum you get out of this thing is just crazy. Anyway, the thing that we need to do next is the outside of our building. As you can see there, looks pretty ugly, in my opinion. And the time I see it the most is when I'm walking across this path. And I always look over at it and just think, yuck. So, we need to tidy this up. The top bit is going to be relatively easy, as we're going to copy that design going across the front here, and then somehow we've got to sort of bring it down and merge it with our big window here. So how does that look? Not so bad. From over here though, it is kind of difficult to make out the details, so let's go a little bit closer. And at the very top there, there's like a gap that I need to do something with. Not sure what that's going to be, but I think this has worked out really well. It's all sort of come together. And we're going to try and fly around from up above and have a little bit of a look at it. But I also need enough momentum to get over to Tango's area. Aha, here it is. Because Tango's also built a launcher that goes out of his base. And I would like to fly there and then fly it back again. But this thing right here, absolutely amazing. So simple to use. I actually plan on making a tutorial for this right now. I know it's someone else's design, but I kind of want to make my own tutorial and just show you how to use this. Because once again, walk forward, tap spacebar, look upwards, and off you go. It's so much simpler than the other way of doing it, where you've got to sort of jump up from the slime block and then try and fly into the area in front of you. So I don't know, by the time this video comes out, I might have actually made that. So look in the description box down below, where you can also find a link to the live stream that was kind of like a precursor to this episode. So if you're interested in that, things for you to watch. Ah, we almost made it back in. I don't think this one was for returning either. And wow, this thing looks fancy. And look at Rendog's area right here. This is the beginning of a lush mesa little oasis. And what really looks good is the path block down the side of where the water goes. I've got to use that at some point. That looks so good. Anyway, let's pop back inside of here. There's all of the boats. You stand down here to use Tango's one. And what's going on up here? Just... okay, so not too much. I think the idea is that we walk backwards. Aha, aha. And then we jump. Miserable fail. Oh, let's try that one more time. I don't think you have to actually wait for all of these. You just do it in your own time. So jump, off we go. Oh my god, press spacebar to engage. Didn't do that quick enough, but it means I get to have a little look around Rendog's area, I guess. Which is what I'll do right now. But that's going to be it from me this episode of Hermitcraft. Do hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like on the video. As always, thank you so much for your support here on the channel. Really do appreciate it. Hope you had a good time watching today's video. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.